Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are watching from. I am your host, Mike. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to appreciate you all for all the love, support, and good vibes you bring to this channel. Whether you're a long-time subscriber or it's your first time here, I appreciate every view, every like, every comment. It truly means the world to me. This channel wouldn't be the same without you, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey. Let's keep growing, keep sharing, and keep the good energy flowing. Thank you for being the best part of Daily Diaries Friday. Now let's dive in, squaddies. Prince William seems to be on a personal mission to attend as many football matches as possible under the flimsy excuse of work events. Last week he was in Monaco, conveniently watching his beloved Aston Villa lose to AS Monaco. Now, just days later, he popped up in Birmingham for yet another game, without his wife and children, of course. It's becoming increasingly obvious why we're suddenly seeing a flurry of last-minute engagements from him. Someone must have finally sat him down and told him he looks ridiculous, gallivanting across Europe for football while doing the bare minimum for his actual royal role. Speaking of looking ridiculous, last night's game against Celtic was hardly a warm welcome for him. The atmosphere was outright hostile as Celtic fans, who are famously anti-monarchy, made their feelings about him loudly and repeatedly known. Their chants echoed around the stadium, a brutal reminder that outside of his royal bubble, not everyone is willing to pretend he's respected. The Prince of Wales was subjected to chants of Lizzie's in a box, and if you hate the royal family, clap your hands by Celtic fans during Aston Villa's Champions League clash with the Scottish club. The atmosphere was electric, but the chants took a controversial turn. Away supporters also displayed a banner in the stands glorifying an intruder who found his way into Queen Elizabeth II's Buckingham Palace bedroom days after Prince William was born, adding fuel to the already tense situation. The Prince, Villa's most famous fan, attended Wednesday night's match and was seen celebrating wildly as the Premier League side raced into a 2-0 lead. His presence added a layer of significance to the event. Home supporters were heard singing the national anthem in response to the abuse by Celtic fans, who were also said to have sung about the Prince's brother, the Duke of Sussex, further escalating the situation. The visitors appear certain to face punishment from UEFA, which fined Shamrock Rovers £8,540 a week ago for transmitting a message that is not fit for a sports event, setting a precedent for such behaviour. After their fans chanted "Lizzie's in a box" during their Conference League defeat by Chelsea last month, Celtic fans' banner about the Buckingham Palace intruder, which read "Michael Fagan the Prowler," was displayed barely 3 years after they celebrated the death of the late Queen, with flags reading "F the Crown" and "Sorry for your loss, Michael Fagan." These actions have drawn widespread condemnation. The club were later fined more than £13,000 by UEFA for breaching its rules during their 1-1 Champions League draw at Shakhtar Donetsk, highlighting the ongoing issue of fan misconduct. The contrasting attitude towards the royal family from Villa and Celtic fans proved a major subplot to Wednesday night's game, which Villa won 4-2. The atmosphere was electric, filled with both excitement and tension. The national anthem could be heard echoing through the streets of Birmingham, while there were at least 3 "God Save the King" flags outside Villa Park and a St George's Cross with a picture of the monarch proudly displayed by the fans. As well as their supporters celebrating the death of the late Queen immediately after her passing, the atmosphere was charged with mixed emotions. In subsequent Celtic matches, chants were heard of "If you hate the royal family, clap your hands," echoing through the stands, and "Lizzie's in a box," as well as "You can shove your coronation up your sentiments that were hard to ignore before the following year's crowning of the king at Westminster Abbey, a historic moment. "I wish they would get rid of the monarchy," some fans expressed. "It is an anachronism and an appalling way to choose a head of state," they argued passionately. But "Lizzie's in a box" is not nice, a sentiment that struck a chord with many. She was working for her country until a couple of days before she died, a testament to her dedication. I remember hearing some of those chants happening just hours after Queen Elizabeth II passed away in 2022, a moment etched in memory. It was surreal at the time, almost dreamlike, seeing how quickly football fans worked her passing into their songs, a reflection of their passion and spontaneity. And yet here we are years later, the chants still echoing, and they're still chanting Lizzie's in a box, this time right in front of her own grandson. That's certainly a choice, a moment that will be remembered. It's fascinating how football culture can be so irreverent, weaving everything from politics to pop culture into match day chants, sometimes within hours of an event happening. The creativity and spontaneity of football fans never cease to amaze me. I'm also curious, what exactly were the chants about Prince Harry? Does anyone know? It's intriguing to think about how quickly fans can come up with these chants. Given how much public opinion about him has shifted over the years, I can only imagine the kinds of things that might have been sung. Were they supportive or critical? Were they jabs at his exit from royal duties? Or perhaps they were more focused on his new life in America? References to his relationship with Meghan, or maybe something completely unrelated just for the sake of humour. Speaking of Meghan, I also vividly remember the Euros in 2022, at least I think it was then, when England lost to Italy. That match was unforgettable for many reasons. That in itself was a chaotic moment, but what really stuck with me was how Italian fans took things to the next level. Their celebrations were something else. Instead of just celebrating their win, they somehow decided to claim the Duchess of Sussex as their own, even putting her face on Italian flags. It was a bizarre yet funny sight. The sheer randomness of it all was hilarious. It's these unexpected moments that make football culture so unique. It's moments like these that remind me how unpredictable and absurd football fandom can be. You never know what to expect. Sometimes the hooligans go too far, but other times they're unintentionally the funniest people in the stadium. Their antics can be both entertaining and shocking. Prince William perpetually wears the expression of a wild animal baring its teeth, as if caught between a snarl and an awkward grin. His Windsor horse-like teeth, disproportionately large, seem to fight for space in his small, tight-lipped mouth, giving his smile an almost forced, uneasy quality. No matter the occasion, his features appear strained, as though his jaw is perpetually at war with the sheer size of his teeth, making his expressions teeter between menacing and unintentionally comical. Thanks for tuning in, squaddies. You guys are amazing, and I can't thank you enough for the love and support. If you had a good time, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on the vibes. Let's keep this community growing. Share it with your friends. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, and keep those good vibes flowing. Keep crushing it, squaddies.